Hi everyone, Jean here. I have another kit that I designed for the Disabled Artists Foundation. This one I called it a trash bag. It originally, when I made the first one, that was my intentions. I used a little gift bag like this. I'm going to leave this one all in there. There's several sheets of printables that have either been donated or some we already had, and a gift bag and a glue stick. And so I pulled one out of my stash. Yeah. And this bag is more matte inside. This one is shiny. So I may want to take something to this before I do anything. But here's the original. And yes, like I said, it started as a trash bag. But then I realized it held all of my Inktense pencils. And so here it is. I just used printables, pieces of jelly printables and jelly prints, and just kind of collaged it. It really sturdied it up. Now I have this really cool box to hold all my Inktense in, and I really thought that was cool. But see, I have them in a Lazy Susan over here in the corner, and that just filled the space perfectly. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a walkthrough and give you my explanation of what my plans were and what I did. So I'm just going to cut off the handle, which, by the way, if you wanted to just redo this into a gift bag that suits your style that you want to do, you would not have to take these off. You could just easily turn this into a different gift bag. But it was very easy to do. And I'm going to pull this off because I despise these little things. They drive me crazy. And most of the time they come off okay. So what I did is I just opened up the bag from the bottom. It didn't, it really wasn't hard to do. It didn't really tear. And it's okay because you're really not going to see most of that. And when you go to collage on this, you can just kind of know that anything you see that's white isn't going to show in the finished piece. Now, I did not open mine down to make it one big piece, which you most certainly could. I left it like this so that I could collage like this much and then flip it over. Or if I wanted to make sure it wrapped around the corners, I could collage this and then fold it this way so I could go around the corners to make it nice and smooth. Now, I did on mine, on the original, I opened up this out here and I collaged all the way to the edge. So that way when you're done and you fold it in, it's nice and pretty. Because you know how I feel. Girls should have pretty tools. So with that, let's grab a sanding block. Maybe not. Okay. So grab a sanding block, and because this one's shiny, this is the only reason I'm doing this. Just kind of taking the shine off. So I have a stack of different images here that I have used, either that I've made or just printables that I have. And I'm going to kind of go big just because it's a video and I want to finish it. So we're going to tear this right here. And I'll probably just, there we go. I'm using bigger chunks. In the kit comes a glue stick also. You're always welcome to use it however you want or whatever you want. Excuse me. It's potentially spoofing, so we won't answer it. So what I'm going to do is just add my glue to it And if you're using a shiny bag, you probably want to be pretty heavy-handed with the glue. I'm not going to worry about it perfectly right now because all you guys need to know is how I did it. Right? So, glue that down. Burnish, burnish, burnish. My favorite burnishing tool, the lid of the glue stick. Mostly because I don't see a bone folder right handy. But we'll fix that. We just found it. So I did that. I also have over here, I forgot this was upside down because I had a mess on my paper. So let's use some of this too. Just because I like to mix the bright colors and the vintage. I think that is just super cool. Or at least it's my super cool. So just have a few chunks. And now, honestly, I think that I would stop right here at what is the true bottom of the bag, because when I finished this one, and I hope I don't knock all these pencils out, I just put one big piece on the bottom. So you don't have to really do anything with it, but it's just so much easier to work with when you can work flat. So I have this piece covered, and I did go around the corner a little bit, but I knew it wasn't going to stick because it wasn't enough. Not enough glue and not enough paper. So we'll have to make that work in another way by maybe putting some strips the other direction. So all we need to do is just cover the whole bag. And I will at least get one side done so you kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, I think I'm going to open this back up because I know this is not going to cover and stay well because there's not a lot of paper going over the side. I swear when I did it, I thought there was more. And I'm just going to do this. Burnish that down. I love using the lid of my glue stick because it's handy always. But, you know, sometimes my table isn't level and it falls off the floor. And so there's a stash of them in my little cubby hole up here of just the lids. Because, you know, sometimes that's what you need to have. So on this one, I think I'm just going to... And you can always just draw on these after you've got your collage materials down. It doesn't have to be a printable. It can be magazine images. It could be some of your kids' homework. Wouldn't that be cool? Or their drawings, bits and pieces of it. I'm seeing more and more kids' artwork and schoolwork in different people's arts. I think that's just amazing. So, let's get my ruler. And yes, you could cut these. You do not have to tear them. You don't have to use a ruler to tear them. It's just faster for me. And I think so I don't care if they're straight edges, if they're torn edges, if they're wiggly, squiggly edges. I'm okay with all of it. So burnish, burnish, burnish. That always helps it stay. Like I said, though, this is the plastic shiny paper, so we'll see. We'll hope it works and doesn't give away. Okay, so we're going to pretend that the whole bag's done. And all we really have done here is just one side and a partial. So we're going to put it back on its bend. And again, I got a short piece there, but that's okay. So see, you're starting to see something there, right? Well, all you do is after it's done, and it will be so much stiffer and sturdier. You'll take your top and fold that back in. And see, now you got this pretty lining in there. I did glue mine back in, so you would definitely want to do that. And then you just take this and fold it back together. And I glued that again. And then I put some pressure on it like this, holding it still so it gets glued together. Now, I actually put another piece of cardstock in the bottom to help with the stability. Like I said, it was intended to be trash, so it's, probably wasn't made as stable as it should be for what it's holding, but it's holding it well. So, and then I just took a chunk of something and covered it. Now I did on the one I made first, I did ink the edges, as you can see, and I let's see if I can get you a little ways out there. So ink the edges, and then on the bottom I outlined the whole thing with black so it kind of looks framed, and if there was any corners, I did the corners with the big black marker just to help. But this is holding a lot of weight, and it really is holding up well, and I like it enough that I think I could take all my little tiny bags, because when you've been married as long as I have, you don't give your spouse little gifts because, you just buy what you need. You don't even really give gifts, at my house anyway. And the grandbabies, yeah, these bags will never work for the grandbabies. So I think it's kind of cool to be able to just have these. Look, I didn't put anything on that, and it's nice and neat border on there. I think I'll leave that. So anyway, that was my plans for that kit. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find a good use for it. It still will be able to fold up even after it's all collaged. Just let it dry well. And because, trying to fold wet glued paper never always, or for me, it never ever works. So that's my plan for this cute little box. Little trash can to sit on your desk, or another gift bag, however you see fit. And little to no supplies. You need an empty gift bag and some papers and some glue. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great evening. Thanks, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm back. I decided I would finish out my little bag and let you watch it in a little bit faster mode, and that way you can see just how it turned out. I really enjoy this little project because it's quick, it's easy, and it just makes a pretty piece to sit around and do whatever it is you want to do with it. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.